Um, I'll hit this in the announcement, but I'm pleased to say that this is going to be our last, at least hopefully for the foreseeable future and hopefully ever, um, virtual Friday morning meeting, or exclusively virtual Friday morning meeting. Um, and if it is, it's been fun. Um, Let me open us with a quick word of prayer, and then we'll kick off the announcements and get to our program in short order. God, thank you for this day. Thank you for the spring season that we're entering into. Thank you for the rain this week. Thank you for your faithfulness to us. Thank you for the heart of service that you've placed on the members of this club. Thank you for those in our community that we get to serve and those who serve us. Thank you for the students that we will recognize this morning. Thank you for their teachers and their parents who have helped guide and mentor them on their way to success in high school. And we know that you'll be with them as they continue from this day and have success in their future endeavors, college, and so forth. So we thank you for all of them. We thank you for our leaders. We pray for your wisdom and discernment in the decisions and policies that they set forth. And we thank you for those who serve us and protect us abroad and locally, and our police and fire and first responders here in the area. Be with them, keep them safe. Look forward to the weekend. Thank you for all that you do for us, and just ask that everything that we do would be pleasing and honoring to you. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Well, as I alluded to earlier, the board met on Wednesday and decided that we would return to in-person meetings with our virtual option still in play, starting on April 9th. We will take next Friday, April 2nd off for Good Friday. The schools, I believe, are closed that day, so we'll give membership a break for those that may be taking a long weekend, and we will reconvene at the KC on Friday, April 9th, and I'll kind of bump that announcement at the end as well, but wanted to hit that off the top. Speaking of our board meeting, this was the month that we considered our community grant requests. And unfortunately, Mr. Boyd, who was responsible for collecting those and presenting them to the board, is having a bit of his second vaccine dose hangover this morning and wasn't feeling up to joining us. So I'm going to defer to our April meeting for him to make the full announcement of the slate of awards, but did want to just make the note to the club members who were on this morning that we are looking to make community grants this year consistent with what our budget was, consistent with the amount that we've donated in the past. Again, in appreciation for club membership, sticking with us through the pandemic. Even though we weren't able to have Oktoberfest, we've maintained a sound financial position for the club, and we are able to do our scholarships and our excuse me, and our community grant funding at the same level that we have in the past and as we budgeted for the year. So we're thankful for that, and you'll get some more information and details about who the recipients of those funds are, what the funds are going to be for in April. So just wanted to flag that. I see that Principal Jones is on with us, and I will turn the floor over to her for a quick update from the high school.
Okay, sorry, just walked in and I was trying to unmute. Good morning. What's going on at Lake Highlands? We had an awesome opening night of our Highlandet review. The show was amazing, and so I actually worked last night. I was the admin on duty. Then I got home and I was talking to my 11-year-old about it. She had volleyball last night. So now we're going again tonight. And then Mr. Gray, our associate principal's daughter, is coming with us. So we'll be able to see it again. But it's a phenomenal show, and the girls have worked so hard, and it was so great to see them be able to perform. Our boys and girls soccer teams are going to the playoffs. They're playing tonight versus Grand Prairie. They're playing at the Gopher Bowl. They're back-to-back games, so we're excited about that. We're getting ready to roll some fun things out for our senior class. Now that the CDC has changed some of the guidelines, we're able to do a bit more, so we're excited about rolling that out next week. And testing is coming up, STAR testing, so we're making arrangements for the face-to-face and virtual kids, and that's pretty much it right now.
Very good. It's that time of year once spring break, everybody comes back from spring break and it's the full court
Yes.
press to the end of the year. So
Correct.
good luck with that. And I see Rick on with us, who's doing some technical assistance with the Highlandette review. If you're interested in catching one of the performances, I'm sure you can find something on the school's website, but hit Rick up and I'm sure he'll help you find a way to watch that. I think they're doing a live stream of that event. So
and we also they reserved 20 seats for administrators. And so really every night we only have one on duty. So we can probably connect you with some tickets that way too, because there are plenty of open seats.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let us know if you're interested in that. Let me or Rick know. We'll put you in touch with the folks to get a hold of a ticket if you'd like. So always fun to support our students as we are this morning. And I'm scrolling through just to make sure I don't have any additional announcements. Hopefully you're reading the newsletter that Rick puts out every week. And Mark Holmes had posted this on the Facebook page, but we are in a week of, or 110-hour day of giving, currently March 23rd through the 27th. The club, the National Exchange Club, is doing a matching challenge grant for donations. And so check that out on the newsletter or on the Facebook page. There's a link to that. And at this point, I will turn it over to Mr. Trefone to introduce one of his spring benefit fundraiser committee members for an update on the spring fundraiser.
Thanks, Chris. Like you said, I'm going to share the mic this morning, but I wanted to do a quick intro. Wes Johnston is in charge of our sponsorship committee this year, and he's going to give us a quick update about kind of where we are on sponsorships and where the need is. So Wes, the mic is yours.
Everybody, good morning. As Nathan said, my name is Wes Johnston. I know a lot of you from kind of the pre-pandemic days when we'd have our evening events, but normally I'm on dad duty for drop off in the morning. So if I'm a new face, that's the reason why. But as Nathan said, I'm kind of helping him spearhead the efforts to get sponsorship dollars for our spring event. And so far, we're at a little less than half of our goal. We're trying to raise $20,000 just from the sponsorship aspect of the spring event. We're at a little over 8,000 right now with about 2 months of runway left in front of us. So we're excited about the progress we've made, but obviously, as Chris alluded earlier, with the lack of Oktoberfest this year, this is basically the main source of fundraising income for the club. So we're trying to really hit it as hard as we can. Have had really surprisingly good success with a lot of sponsors that have wanted to step up and really help the community in light of everything we've been through in the last year. So what I'd like to speak to each of you about is we're really specifically targeting maybe newer businesses in the Lake Highlands area, or ones that have had kind of a banner year in spite of or even because of COVID, specifically in residential real estate, for example. So we're asking any of our club members that might have a lead on a sponsor in that field, or again, in another area that is just trying to kind of plant a flag and get their brand out there, please pass their information along to us. I think Rick will be sending out our full sponsorship packet in the weekly blast that goes out next week. But in the meantime, my email is in the newsletter that just went out. So if you've got a tip or a lead or even questions, please feel free to reach out to me. We're able to do a lot to work with sponsors to make sure that they get the maximum value for brand exposure in the community, to kind of get bang for their buck for the donation. So really, really excited about the progress we've made, but still got a long ways to go. So I think that's about it, Nathan. We've got one sponsor right now that is committed to a good chunk, and they're actually looking to do some matching. So we've really got even more potential for anybody else we can get in the door to basically double the impact they make in a critical year for us. So that's kind of where we stand. Appreciate you guys listening. And again, if you've got any questions, my email and my phone number are both in the weekly blast. So just let me know.
Thanks, Wes. And just a reminder for the group, May 22nd, it's going to be hopefully a kind of a hybrid event with different people hosting kind of little small block parties. But we're really excited. Wes and his team have done a great job so far. And we're looking forward to a great, as Chris said, last virtual event, May 22nd. Hopefully from there on out, it's all back in person. Chris, back to you.
Very good. Thanks, Nathan. Thank you, Wes. Appreciate your efforts. And as you said, Wes, y'all are off to a good start. Even with, a couple of months to go here, things are looking good for that event. And it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of work has gone into the planning, and we've had to pivot a couple of times from planning a virtual event to planning an in-person event and back to a virtual, kind of given the nature of things. So we appreciate y'all's hard work, and things are looking good. And so yeah, if you've got ideas or would like to make a sponsorship donation, get in touch with Wes or Nathan. He'll get that to the right place. So thank you, guys. All right, I'm going to pause for a moment, see if we have any announcements from the floor, anything that I've overlooked. Let folks find the mute button if they need to, and I don't hear anything. If I have overlooked something, shoot me a message in the chat. We'll catch it in the little wrap up at the end of the meeting. All right, with that, I'm looking forward to meeting and getting to know our honored guest this morning, and I'm going to turn the mic over to Mr. Fisher for our Student of the Month and Character Counts Awards.
Thanks, Chris. Good morning, Lake Highlands. Morning, everybody. It is my pleasure to help out the club again with this time the February and March Character Counts and Youth of the Month Awards. We're seeing that at the end, getting towards the end of the year and after spring break and stuff, now we're starting to get into that scheduling crush of, okay, we have this event and this event, and now everything's starting to kind of come together at the end. So, and of course, with the snow and everything like that, last time we came into this meeting with about 8 due to scheduling conflicts. We're going to have it looks like 4 students to present, so it's like a normal event, I guess. Everything's normal about 2020 and 2021. Everything's normal at all. Nothing to see here. But as I said before, doing these meetings online, it really requires everybody to go through adjustments, and the students again keep amazing me with their versatility and their ability just to roll with it. As I've said before, all these students are more than capable of handling what the future holds for them. So right now we'll start with Character Counts. The Character Counts awards are given to students nominated by the faculty and staff at Lake Highlands High School. This award recognizes young men and women at the high school, as well as their parents and mentoring teachers who display strong character traits as a vital part of their daily routine. These are students who serve as peer role models and positively participate in school or community service and extracurricular activities. They serve as student leaders and are reliable and very trustworthy. So today, our Character Counts award recipient is Rama Siddiqui. And I want to introduce Rama. There we go. Rama, do you have anybody you'd like to introduce right now?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. My mom is in the Zoom call. Her name's Sana Siddiqui. That's the only person that's here right now for me. And
Oh. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Well, let me get to this. So, Rayma has been in Lake Highlands for 5 years. She got here from Frisco. She enjoys, when she's not in school or studying, she enjoys playing rock band with her sister and reading mysteries and listening to music. She's got a younger sister and an older brother. She plans to next year go to Richland, and then she'll hopefully be transferring to NYU in New York. And she's drawn to biology or biochemistry. Specifically, she wants to be a forensic biochemist. Again, none of these students are shooting low, so this is pretty amazing. I asked her why, and she said she finds herself drawn to chemistry and biomechanics, and her love of murder mysteries has made these kind of meld together. She says the best advice she's ever received is probably just to have realistic goals. And if the goals sound different, different or difficult, anything is possible so long as you put in the effort you need and try. She says that if she could go back in time and talk to herself as a freshman, she would say not to be such a people pleaser. And she's looking forward to most after graduation in 2021 to moving out and getting an apartment with her older brother, and specifically just looking at the entire college experience in a school with new people, different classes, and a different kind of learning structure. One last thing, she said, like many of us, especially after spring break, when I asked her if she could go anywhere, vacation anywhere in the world and why, she said that would be a tough one, but probably somewhere tropical, or definitely somewhere tropical like the Caribbean or Hawaii. She prefers the beach to mountains. So, Rayma, I'm going to hand it over now to Principal Jones, who's going to have some comments from your teachers.
Okay, good morning, Rayma. The first comment is from Mrs. Worrell, your choir director. Rayma is one of those students who leads by example. She is not the loudest person in the room, but she is a listener and a helper. She is dependable and intelligent and has a great sense of humor, along with a positive attitude, and is always encouraging others. She values being part of the team and is a valued member of the Lake Highlands High School choir team. And then the second is from Coach Brinley, who teaches social studies. I had Rayma in world history 2 years ago, and she was a blast to have in class. She always has a smile and a positive attitude. Keep doing what you are doing, Rayma. Congratulations.
Rayma, I want to echo that congratulations. We applaud you for all your hard work and your dedication, and your cash and prizes will be at the high school this week. Is Zamari on? Didn't see. Okay.
I don't see him, no.
Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure. Okay, then our next, now we're going to move on to the Youth of the Month. So the Youth of the Month award recognizes Lake Highlands graduating seniors, along with their parents and mentoring teachers who have excelled in academics, leadership, and school and community service. These are students that are in the top 20% of their class, or often even higher, and participate in student government, school publications, music, theater, athletics, or other school-sponsored activities. These students have typically received special recognition or awards by other educational, community, state, national organizations for demonstrating excellence in academics, leadership, participation, and community service. So our first recipient I'd like to introduce to you all is Jai Paris. Jai, do you have anybody you want to introduce to everybody?
No, it's just me. Good morning.
Jai has lived in Lake Highlands his entire life. He went to the Highlander School and then Lake Highlands Junior High. Jai considers his strongest talent to be an aptitude for math and science and problem solving and critical thinking. You know, I was really struck by when I was talking to Jai about how limited my scope of work is, because Jai has been extremely interested in, after reading a couple of books like Uninhabitable Earth by David Wallace Wells and Homo Deus by the anthropologist Noel Harari, just sustainable energy and the issues that the world are going to face in the next generation. He's planning on going to college at either A&M, SMU, or UTD. So I guess you guys can see that he's looking at being an engineer, specifically electrical engineering. Again, he's showed great foresight because he thinks that's where the future of engineering and a lot of the world's issues are going to be coming up in the future. Electrical, chemical, nuclear engineering, all of these are heavily involved in addressing climate change and the ripple effect. He said if he could travel and vacation anywhere in the world, he said, well, his brother loves to travel and has been on different ventures to different continents. So he'd like to travel at least to one of those places, specifically Japan. He thinks that it has interesting culture, environment, and atmosphere. He's only been out of the country twice, Mexico and India. His family is from India, so he's been to South India, south of the equator, and he said that is completely different, and it feels like truly visiting like a fictional world. His social media app of choice is Instagram, and he says that that's really the only app he uses. And unlike Twitter, it's not confrontational. It's like a friendly Twitter. It's both disconnected and connected at the same time. When I asked Jai who if he could meet anyone in the world, past or present, he said that person would be Nikola Tesla, who his reasonings were Tesla was effectively the original electrical engineer and a genius. But instead of being completely dedicated to the free market and actual proprietary information, he was dedicated just to making the world a better place. His dream job would be, he's not exactly sure, but engineering research and working on renewable energy, specifically wind, hydroelectric, and nuclear energy and fusion. He said if he could go back in time and talk to himself as a freshman, the advice he would give himself, he said he'd actually been thinking about that a lot heading towards graduation, and that in the 11th and 12th grade, he started looking at school just kind of from a different perspective. At first, he was looking solely at grades and just a get the work done sort of mindset. But now he's found that despite having his hardest course load these last 2 years, and definitely harder courses, he's still maintaining grades, and he's realizing that, yeah, it's a matter of loving your work. After graduation, Jai is looking forward to prepping for college and basically just leaving the nest. He says at college, he's most looking forward to living on his own. He said it's going to be cool, weird, and hard, but honestly a fun challenge. And he said, and honestly, I'm really just interested in diving into my field of work, which is engineering. Jai, that is very commendable. All of us applaud you for your hard work and your dedication, and know that you're going to amount to great things. You definitely are an inspiration to us. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, our next Youth of the Month recipient is Josh Bishop. Josh, do you have anybody that you want to introduce to everyone?
No, sir, I do not.
Not a problem. Okay, Josh has also lived in Lake Highlands his entire life for 18 years. He's a Moss Haven and Forest Meadow kid. When he's not in school or studying, he likes to sing, hang out with friends, and play golf. He has one older sister. He is going to, he's planning on going to college at Belmont in Nashville in the fall. He's going to be majoring in finance. Both of his parents are in business, and he believes, probably correctly, that finance is the business degree that you can really apply to almost any field. He was on the golf team for 3 years, so golf is obviously his favorite sport and one of his favorite activities. Like Jai, he also wants to or would like to go to Japan. He also loves the nature, culture, and atmosphere, and also he loves sushi. he uses Snapchat the most of any social media app, and he says that's pretty much the only one that he uses. Again, I'll explain to the rest of you all when we go offline what Snapchat is and how it's used. If you could meet anyone in the world, past or present, he said that one kind of stopped him down, but he said probably Tiger Woods. Obviously, he's an incredible golfer, and Josh, like most of us, would say, yes, I'd absolutely want to get anything signed by him. That would feel like my life was pretty complete. His dream job is to be an investment banker. He thinks it provides a lot more opportunities than other fields. And to get a start, he's actually been looking at the stock market right now and getting a good start. He said when I asked him if he could go back in time and talk to himself as a freshman, what advice would he give himself? This again is reminding me of that we all need to kind of expand our scope a little bit. The first thing he said was he would do more and do more out of school stuff for certain activities, specifically for choir, like regional stuff and more activities. But then he also said, I would also stop that guy from starting the coronavirus. So again, these seniors are really looking at big picture items, and we all need to expand our focus as well. Finally, Josh said that after graduation, he said he's most looking forward to just happy to have chosen a college that he thinks he's really going to like, and he's very excited about it. Some of his best friends ended up selecting Belmont as well. So he said that the four of them were really excited about hanging out together and basically starting this new phase of life together. And I can completely understand that. Josh, thank you for all your hard work and your service. I know you're looking forward to getting to Nashville, so thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, our last youth of the month is Caroline Klein. Caroline, do you have anybody you need to introduce to us?
I do not. They're all at practice or still sleeping. So this morning.
Gotcha. So Caroline is also a Moss Haven and Forest Meadow kid. She got to Lake Highlands about 12 years ago. And I've got a 22-month-old who has just decided she's waking up. So if you guys hear that, I apologize. Caroline considers her strongest talent to be photography. She enjoys photography a great deal, and she spends her summers in Michigan, where she takes a lot of photos of bonfires, her friends, the beaches up there during the summer. And lately, she's been doing a lot of senior pictures. Some of her friends have just said, hey, I want you to do my senior pictures. So I've told her she needs to work on her rates a lot on those. When she's not in school, she spends a lot of time at Watermark Community Church. That's her church, and takes a lot of photos for the high school ministry. She likes to serve at Young Life, and her brother Carson Klein plays football and baseball at Lake Highlands, so she spends a lot of time with that. As I said, she has two brothers. She has a brother who's a sophomore at Lake Highlands, and one who's a seventh grader at Forest Meadow Junior High. She is planning to go to Auburn University on the Plains in the fall. When I asked Caroline if she selected on a major, she said yes, early childhood development. She's looking at planning on being a children's therapist. She loves being around kids. And Caroline lost her mom when she was 8 years old, and therapy has played a very huge role in her life. And she was very lucky to connect with a child therapist who experienced the very same situation she had. And this played a very important and valuable role in her life. She knew then that this was something that she really, really wanted to do and to be able to help others in similar situations. She's a girl in a house with all boys, in her words, so she is a football girl. And so she's going to fit right in at Jordan-Hare in the fall. Her social media app of choice is Instagram, because she likes the aspects of photography that are used and how people use those to express different aspects of their personalities and their lives. If she could meet anyone in the world, she told me that she would like to meet Sadie Robertson. I'm sure most of you guys know who that is, but that's the daughter, or I guess one of the heiresses of the Duck Dynasty clan from Monroe, Louisiana. Caroline said she's amazing and she's a great public speaker and poised. She's very confident in herself and her faith and her place in the world. She says she's very inspirational to her. Caroline's dream job is to work for a fancy high-end fashion magazine. And when I asked her about how she would, is that just a photography? She said, well, yes. And when I proposed, so a combination of Anna Winter and Annie Leibovitz, and she said that would be perfect. The best advice she's ever received was surround yourself with people who leave others better than the way they found them. And I think that's really great. She also said the two things, if she could go back in time to herself as a freshman and give herself some advice, she said, don't stress about college until you absolutely have to. Don't start in on it, on worrying about that and fretting about that the December of your freshman year. Don't let your head get too far ahead of you in the game. And finally, she said, when she's most looking forward to after graduation, she said she's looking forward to spending the summer up in Northern Michigan and see her family and friends up there before everyone heads off to college. And in college, finding just a new group of friends, as well as maintaining some of her old. There's some other, as you guys will remember, there's other Lake Highland seniors that are going to Auburn. But then also seeing what college has to offer. And of course, hopefully getting one Iron Bowl win against Nick Saban and the Evil Empire. So, Caroline, thank you so much for all your hard work and your dedication and just really being an inspirational leader to other students at Lake Highlands. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Okay, guys, again, I just like to reiterate that these students are just, they completely continue to impress me and show us how they embody the spirit and attitude and character of the community. Lake Highlands has just done a fantastic job of molding these future leaders. And I know we're all excited to see what you all have in store for us in the future. So let's give another hand to our Youth of the Month and Character Counts recipients for February and March. And with that, I will hand it back over to Mr. Brown.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Fisher. Thank you and congratulations to our honorees. As Raymond said, it's always impressive and humbling to see and hear the great things that you have done, the great things that you have in store in your lives. We do know that you will go on to bigger and greater things than you've already accomplished here in Lake Highlands, and those are no small accomplishments. So congratulations. Thanks for being here. I was struck by something that Joshua had said in response to one of Raymond's questions, and I'm paraphrasing because I didn't get exactly what he said, but basically stop that guy from getting COVID. And it struck me that these students, especially the seniors this year, we thought about the impact last year that the coronavirus had on our graduating seniors that had their school year completely upended and disrupted starting in spring break of last year. And it, kind of everything was topsy-turvy with school being out for an extended period going into their graduation season. The graduating seniors this year have not only had that experience, but now their entire senior year has been, a combination of virtual and in-person, and the in-person learning has been very strange compared to what a normal school year would be like. So, a huge congratulations and kudos to you guys for pushing through, persevering, and finding success in the midst of those circumstances. It's tough. And sometimes we take for granted that, you guys are young and it's easy to kind of roll with the punches, but this has not been a small thing for y'all to deal with. And to hear, someone like Joshua make that note just kind of struck me that, yeah, these guys are still, struggling with a huge disruption in what would be an ordinary and exciting time in their lives. So hang in there. Things are starting to look up, obviously, from a, getting things back to normal standpoint. It's going to be exciting as you go into the summer and into your college careers. And again, we look forward to seeing what the future has in store for each of you. I'll again note that we're very appreciative of our teachers, our administrators, and obviously of the parents and other mentors who are involved in these students' lives. They wouldn't be where they are without the support of those around them. So thank you to each of you who are on the call, and to those of you who are on the call who are doing that for other students in Lake Highlands. So with that, I'll recap a couple of announcements and then we'll shut this thing down. No meeting next Friday. We're going to take Good Friday off with RISD. We will be back on Friday, April 9th. And I should remember what our program is for the 9th, but I'm gonna defer to Mr. Bailey if he's still around and can hit us with that. And then I think I saw a hand up from Mr. Bono. Justin, do you have something you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, just real quick, I should have said this at the outset. I noticed, and kind of putting my former trustee hat on, that the district is holding some public information sessions on the upcoming bond election for May 1st. So I'll forward that to you, Chris, maybe put it in the newsletter, but there's two, I think, in-person events or sessions at the administration building in April. I think the first one is on the Monday evening, the 12th, but they're doing some virtual sessions as well. So obviously kind of hard to get information in our current environment around that. So it'd be good to attend one of those and get your arms around that in the coming weeks.
Well, and now you've reminded me of what our meeting is. So, Michael.
Yeah, so that's a good segue. Our meeting on Friday, April 9th is Dr. Stone and team coming to
well, there you go.
Let us know about the bond package. So be sure to attend that, guys.
So attend that or all of them, whatever you want to do.
Very good. Yeah. So our first in-person meeting back after an extended time in this virtual realm will be Dr. Stone and others on the bond package that'll be up on May 1st. Just general note, you may have seen floating around on Facebook, some of the club members and others are hosting a get to know you event at OHB next Wednesday night for Chris Poteet, who's running for one of the at-large seats on the Board of Trustees for RASD, and also Councilman Magoo, who's running for re-election for his last term as District 10 councilman. So if you're able to attend that, I think it's 6:30 to 8:30 at OHB next Wednesday evening. All right. I think that's it. Auction May 22nd, make sure it's on your calendar. Hit Wes Johnson up if you've got ideas for sponsors or if you would like to be a sponsor. And with that, I'm looking to see if, just making sure I haven't missed anybody with something for this morning. With that, we'll give you 10 minutes of your mornings back. We'll keep the Zoom open for as long as folks are still around and want to visit. Otherwise, have a great Friday and a great weekend. And thanks again to all the students, teachers, and parents who joined us this morning. We appreciate you, and good luck in the future. Thank you.